post it. We're about going live now. All right, we're live. We're live. Let me just post the link and see. Hopefully it doesn't disturb or affect. The only thing there is the stream will be brief, but we're live now though. Just trying to share the link.
GM guys.
Yeah, GM everyone. We joined a bit late because of having some technical issues. Technical electricity related issues that's affecting my system. All right, so hope everyone had an amazing week. Hope everyone is doing well. I might have to switch off my camera. Might have to, but let's just see how it goes though. Yeah, so we'll look at the market briefly, look at what BTC is trying to do today and also a few altcoins. So just glancing, we'll see Decred, which is a privacy coin. It's like the best performer within the last 1 week. So you can see it here, which is good hope and good signs for privacy tokens. But aside that, most other coins have been down. Asta, DEX showing some glimpse of hope for DEX tokens too. So Asta did well. I think Hype also held its value quite well. So we'll see how those categories would perform. Dash is still down, or like I've always said, I still have my eyes on Dash. I'm expecting it to recover. I'm really expecting that. Zcash, I'm not so much looking into Zcash though, but Dash because of its low FDV. I'm looking at Dash. So in the last 24 hours, Maker has done 30%. I don't know why. I don't know why, because they were trying to scrap the token. So I don't know why it's pumping, however. But aside that, nothing much has happened. Nothing much has happened. We'll be switching to the chat, but before that, Space Now, what's your take? For those just joining, please share the link, invite anyone you want to the live stream. We started about 2 to 3 minutes late today. Apologies for that. Please share and invite anyone you want to. Before we jump to the chats, I'm about sharing my screen for us to look at the chats. Space Now, so far so good. What do you think about the market?
All right, so my position is still firm on this market. For me, it's still standing by basically. Market hasn't done anything fantastic in the past 24 hours. Because yesterday for our clubhouse meeting, I still reiterated the fact that if I'm looking at buying any token right now, it's just like the longest term. So accumulating maybe something like Bitcoin or BNB. But that being said, I'm still looking at if we would get any trends or any leads for trends. Like you rightly said, anyone that is hopping into any projects now should be looking at projects with revenue or like with heavy revenue. Also, in addition, you should also look at projects that are that have stood the test of time. So if you look at projects that are coming from say 2018 or 2019 that are still here, that are like still waxing strong, those are the projects to really start investing in. Okay. Now, if peradventure one just stumbles across one of these projects that maybe pumped 5x or 10x, maybe a new project, is just treat it as a swing opportunity, right? Not like an opportunity to hodl, okay? Because the market is not really looking too good, to be fair. So that's my stand basically, and that will probably be my stand for a very long time, up until we start getting much more hype in the market or much more utility out of the market. So yeah, that's really my position for today.
All right, I agree with you on that. I agree with you, but let's look at the market briefly, some BTC trades, and for those persons that would be willing to take some futures trades. So we said something on Friday, I still maintain the same thing. On Friday, I think the price of BTC was somewhere around here. And I said this is a draw on liquidity we had crashed to about 59K. And what's expected is for BTC to bounce to like this support. That's what's, or resistance rather, that's what is expected. But based on how crazy the market has been, it's safer to just be on the sideline, observe. That was what I said. And there was no need to attempt to long BTC from here. I said that on Friday, that there was no need to try to long it all the way up. It's just to observe because of there's so much panic and because it was Friday. Okay, so that was my stance for Friday, not taking any trade as at that early morning. But yeah, we saw BTC towards evening. It was able to pump all the way to this resistance level. BTC was able to pump and it got to this resistance, which so far so good till now, nothing has changed. Yet presented some good opportunities for a short and a long. This long field hits SL. This short did well. Another short. This short was based on break even, which is why it is very important this period if you're taking trades. These trades were majorly based on 15 minutes time frame, by the way. This one is this morning. This was yesterday. It actually hit them break even. Yes, it hit break even. So which is why it is always good to, when the trade is moving your direction, you move your SL to break even. This one made like gotten, it went and this was stop loss. This one hit TP. This one break even, had to enter again here, which does almost hit full TP. But I've set to protect profits at 1-to-1 since it's 1-to-2. So if it retraces back to somewhere here, the trade should close, protecting profit. But yeah, it's always very, very important to be able to practice risk management. Once a trade is moving your direction, imagine this particular trade here, I didn't move from SL to break even. This spike here would have taken me out of the trade, to have hit my SL and I would have lost money. But because of I had moved this to break even, I was already out of the trade here. Like when this retracement happened, I was already out of the trade here. Yet I'd already broken even out of the trade, no profits, no loss. And I was just observing before this stuff happened. So you want to ensure you're trying as much as possible to trade in a very safe way and protect capital, not with fear, basically, not necessarily. It doesn't mean you're scared. It just means you're trying to protect your capital. Now, if we look at BTC, so far so good. Nothing has really changed. This is where we had that huge fall off. Nothing has changed. Yesterday on the clubhouse, I said something via monthly charts. I said the only thing that would try to like change the course of action that we're seeing right now is if this month, February, because it's February candle, you can see how low it has dropped. If it closes above this yellow line or this cream line, if it closes above it, that would be some at least positive sign showing that we can still bounce all the way up to maybe a new all-time high. But if it closes the way it is right now, or it closes below this line, then that's bad. That still continues with the every bounce we see will be followed by a dump. Every minor bounce we see will be followed by a dump. So that's why, despite what BTC was doing, I was actually hunting for shorts. Basically, I was just trying to hunt for shorts. The only long I attempted to hunt for was the one that gave me the SL. That's this one. It was the one that gave me stop loss. The only long I attempted to, which was just supposed to be like a brief one to retest this position. That's the one that I hit SL. Or ideally, you can see the shots, even this particular, the last shot I took this morning. You can see it how it's actually playing out. So every longs right now, once it's getting to resistance, it's just to target shots until BTC changes direction. But so far so good, we haven't seen that yet. Next to Apex shots is also playing out pretty well. If you guys recall, last week I took this shot on Apex. You guys saw the trade. I took this shot on Apex, so bounced back to that level again. which I think I said it on Sunday. The Apex has recovered very well. But recovering fast does not mean that it will keep pumping all the way up. No, it recovered fast enough to this level and it's met with all the criteria for to take another shot again, which the shot is playing out like very, very well right now. Yeah, so it's a similar thing I'm expecting with most other other odds. I was looking at BNB, but I didn't take any trade. BNB was trying to recover. Yet on Friday, we saw BNB recover very fast to 670, and it faced resistance because there's resistance here, and that's what dumped it back to about 6 something. Whereas BNB dropped to 570, that's the lowest. So we're seeing lots of rejection. Something LTC was trying to get to 56. So it's got to 56 on that Friday, after which dumped. This is a huge resistance here, and it attempted to again, and it was forced down again. So it's going to take like a whole lot for most of these altcoins to flip to become bullish, like so much. BTC included. It's going to take a whole lot. It's not going to be easy. Even Ethereum. If you notice, Ethereum is usually fast to bounce back. If you notice, Ethereum is very fast to bounce back, which is another way to capitalize. You can focus on shorting those ones that recover very fast. I'm looking for Ethereum. This is Asta. You can see how Asta recovered very fast. So here, did a double top here, and after which it dumped. So you can see, so whoever is targeting shorts right now, you'll be making some good money from the market. Like you're making really good money. You're trying to look for Ethereum. I didn't short Ethereum though, but I've noticed that Ethereum tends to recover very fast and most likely to present short opportunities, even if I didn't take any short on it here. So you can see how fast Ethereum recovered, and it's met this resistance level here. And afterwards, it's just been dumped. And so imagine if you took like a short on Ethereum. Imagine if maybe you took a short on Ethereum, probably you got in around this level, and you keep your LCL and set to your TP. Imagine you're able to like position for like a short trade on Ethereum, your SL all the way to this level. If you keep it here, that's too risky. If you keep it here, it's also risky too. Here's the safe zone. It's very safe zone for you to keep your SL, because Ethereum can still come all the way here to take out all of this liquidity. It's still very possible for that to happen. But the point there is you target shorts, keep your SL at a very good position, your TP at a very good position, and you manage your risk. Very, very important. You find out that you make money. And also, if you take time and you look at all other alts in the market, gradually there's a pattern you will begin to notice. The ones that are always the fastest to recover, see how Red 2 was trying to recover very fast, and after which it gets shut down again. The ones that try so hard to recover, they would always meet a very strong resistance. Okay, people always try to short them. A similar thing with Solana. Solana is actually facing like a huge sell pressure. And you guys know I've always said something since a year before last or thereabout about Solana in terms of its being inflationary, where they're always minting more and more Solana. I said it then that that's what was stopping Solana as at 2024, 2025 from going above $260 to $80, despite Solana leading in all metrics, leading Ethereum, BNB chain, all blockchains. Solana was leading, like everything was happening on Solana, but Solana was still struggling to get to its previous all-time high or even get to $300. It was majorly because of the reason that Solana was actually inflationary. They were minting more and more Solana every minute, every hour, every day. Yet so they were diluting the supply and there was so much sell pressure. That's like the major thing. So now that we are in this very bad market, now that we're in a very bad market, a bear market, so to speak, If they don't find a solution to that and they keep Solana aggressively, the dump is even going to be more brutal if they keep doing that, because gradually investors will understand that that's what is affecting the price of SOL. So the core dev team need to come up with a proposal to maybe reduce the rate at which they are minting Solana, or try to see if they can make it deflationary, similar to what Ethereum did, where they started burning a huge percentage of the gas fees, and thus making Ethereum deflationary, because it was the same thing too for Ethereum. They were minting more and more Ethereum every day. Yet, so the supply of Ethereum was increasing, but based on the burn mechanism that was initiated and approved, they now burn more Ethereum than they mint daily. It's not like they stopped minting, they are still minting Ethereum, but they just burn more now than they mint. So before they mint 2, they have burnt maybe 2.2 or 2.3, something like that. So it helped to like make Ethereum deflationary. So it's something that Solana really, really needs. Racking up all the metrics is not enough to see the value of Solana appreciate. So these are things that even if you're accumulating Solana long term, you say you want to start accumulating Solana long term, these are like some things you need to look at. You need to factor those things in. It's not enough that they have all of the stuffs happening on Solana, all the statistics, all the volume, all the huge numbers. It's not enough to positively impact the price of Solana. No, the economics still plays like a huge role, and they have to fix it. They really, really have to fix it. Else, Solana would most likely not be profitable for the holders. And so I'm not advising anyone to go load up and stack up SOL long term until maybe they come up with things like this. Spencer, what do you think? What do you think about all this?
Well, I actually do agree with you. The market is just a bit funny. So anything that anybody's trading, just use tight stop losses. Don't get into impromptu trades. It's better for you to wait a longer period of time to understand where the market is moving than get frustrated at the fact that, okay, you're not making money and you want to take out futures trading and then you just FOMO into trades. It could cause you to lose more money. So I do agree with your standpoint.
Yeah, so I'm looking a bit at the Solana chart. If you guys notice, this was like a major stronghold for Solana, $80. That was like a major level for Solana. Now, if Solana loses that level, this $80 level, what I'm saying is a major strong level is, if you look at Solana chart, we bounced off there several times. The huge rally Solana had in 2021 started from there, around $70, and it's run all the way up to about 260. And 2022, when we had that Terra Luna crash, that was also another level that gave a bit of resistance before it failed. Yeah, before the Luna crash, we bounced off there a little, then before it failed. And if you look at post the FTX saga, that was where the whole hype and the whole rally started from. After we saw the bounce and we saw like a retracement, that was where we got like that huge rally. You get to where we saw Solana obviously hit almost $300. Okay, that was where we got that huge bounce from. And also too, if you notice, last year, the dump we saw last year based on DeepSeek and all, we dropped to almost that zone to $90 something, and that's where we got another huge major rally to about 200 and something again. So the catch now is Solana has most likely broken that level. Yes, we haven't closed below. I don't think we have. Technically speaking, we haven't closed below that level. That's why whatever happens this month is very, very important. Where this month's candle would close is very important. And if we close bearish, trust me, Solana can most likely still dump all the way to about $30. It's going to be very fast, like very fast and brief dump. And we all know how dumps happen, just the same way you saw this pump where within a few days, Solana pumped all the way to, within a space of 1 month, from February 26th to March 13th. That's about 3 weeks. Solana ran from $100 to almost $200. It's a similar way too. The dumps tend to happen within a space of 1 to 2 weeks. You can see Solana dump from $80 all the way to like $25, $30. It's just a similar way. It's the same thing. Once the chart has no support, no resistance, nothing serious holding it, all major levels have been broken, it's just going to make like a very free fall, like very free fall. So we need to apply caution in the market. Like I said, it's only a major event, a huge event that can actually make this whole dump stop, even for BTC. It has to be like a very huge event. This BTC chart is not clear. It's on too many lines. Let me just get another one, just briefly. Okay, so if we look at this BTC chart now, you would notice where we got this bounce we saw last week, where we got the bounce. It's an area that we had lots of activities happening. So it only makes sense. It's only clear and normal. It's only fair and normal that we get that bounce there because there's a whole lot of liquidity here. A whole lot happened here. Bitcoin consolidated here from March 2020, from 2024, from beginning of 2024 till almost the end of 2024. So for about 10 months, at least from February till October, almost 9 months or thereabout, BTC was trading at around this level. So you have lots of orders placed here. The interest on this level is very, very high. Yeah, so it's only normal for BTC to like range here, get some bounce here, because there are lots of traders that are used to price action around this level. There are lots of traders that have confidence at this level, and there are lots of orders too around this level. So it's only smart and reasonable to expect us to see some up and down movements around here. But it will be quite devastating if we break below this level. Anything that makes BTC go below 50K, it will be very, very devastating. Like, we would most likely still crash till as low as 30 something K if we go below 50. And with how low we went last week, we touched 59K. There's very little stopping us from going below this level. Very, very little. So that's why we're saying apply caution. Whatever you're doing, try as much as possible to apply caution, because the bear markets, the dumps happen super fast, just the same way the pumps happen in a bull market. And if you're trying to say it's when you see the dumps that you would apply caution, you might not have that time because you might be sleeping, or you might be beating, or you might be driving, and it just starts happening. All right, so let's take questions before we call it a day. So someone is saying, using revenue generation, select assets to buy, please. AVAX, Dash, Red, LTC. Well, for me, I would say it starts with looking at the charts first. You need to, first of all, look at all of them, the charts, see how much they have dumped, where they are currently. Very important. So if you look at AVAX, for example, this is AVAX. If you look at AVAX, for example, you find that AVAX is at its 2021 price. Like right now, AVAX is at its 2021 price. That's where AVAX is at right now. This was where it took off 2021 to get to almost, I think, $160. Yeah, I think, yeah, 140 or so. That's where AVAX got to. And ever since, it hasn't gotten back to that price. On the second attempt, 2024, we got to 65. And this year, the highest we got was, I think, 40 or 30 something. Yeah, got to 30 something this last year, sorry. That's the highest. So that's one of the things you also need to look at. Discount. Yeah, AVAX is massively discounted. Then before you go look at the tech partnerships they're doing and prospects in the future, the plans they have. For the chart is telling you it's a good buy. It's just to cement that decision now. It's the plans they have and what they are doing in the background, what they are building. That is what will let you know how fast it can recover, and also how it will be able to hold this level and not crash further to like $3 or $4. Yeah, that's one of the things you need to look at. Then for LTC, looking at LTC charts too, similar. You find out that LTC has also is sitting on a resistance. I think I said this last week, sitting on a major resistance. This is like a 4 years resistance from 2022, because I think it touched $46 last week, $40 something last week. So it's still on a major resistance. Should it go below this $40 range, the next range will be around 21, which this is the price we saw around 219, 220 or thereabout. Yeah, something dollars for Litecoin. Now, the good thing with Litecoin is Litecoin has actually done some huge rally from that level multiple times. I think the first time was 217. From that 20 something dollar, it ran all the way to about 360. Then 219. From that same 20 something, it ran to about 150. Then 2020, from that same 20 something dollars, it ran to about $400. You get, that's just the thing. So, and other times too, it has bounced from around $40 range to do 130, 140, 150, get and back again. But however, LTC is sitting on a major support level. The community seems strong. They're still building, they still have funding, and they're still doing their usual stuff. They have lots of merchants, and they are still positioning themselves as silver. While BTC is gold in crypto space, LTC is silver, second oldest cryptocurrencies, and all of those things. So you also need to look at that data before you draw your conclusion. Then still similar thing too with Dash. You need to also look at Dash. The only difference with Dash now is based on privacy, hype, and all of that. You can see Dash too. Dash is close to its major support level. Very, very close to it. You can see in the past how Dash has rallied from all of these levels, but right now Dash is somewhere around here. So Dash is very close to all-time low, like very, 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 very close to all-time low. The all-time low for Dash is around 20 something dollars. It's at 36 now, so it's approximately $10 away from all-time low, or you can say 33% dump from all-time low. So if it does another 33% dump, then that's obviously gotten to its all-time low price. We haven't seen Dash below this level in years. We haven't seen Dash below this level. So it's an interesting level to start bidding Dash. So these are like some things you look at, then you can go check the tech to see how good the tech is. Dash tech is good, it works. Community is active, it's riding on the privacy hype and all of those things. So you just look at all of those data and you decide on which one you want to go on with. For River, I've not finalized this check yet for River. I will finalize it later this week. What happened? Then the last question before we call it today: what's your take about the news going viral on the internet about BTC going down to 20K? Some even claim it's going to go to zero. I don't think BTC will ever go to zero. 20K, I doubt. 35K, possible. Some even say it's going to go to zero. Can we say that's because of the bearish market? Yeah, there's a huge chance that BTC can still go down to 30, 35K. Looking at the charts, that's still on the scorecard. Then if you also look at the prices that miners need to be profitable, for some huge mining farms that are using a specific hardware for mining, even when BTC drops to 45K, 40K, they'll still be in profit. Then if we look at long-term plans for BTC, if it drops to 30K, that would be like a huge opportunity for lots of big money investors to accumulate, lots of banks to accumulate, hedge funds, name it. It will be a huge opportunity for them to accumulate. And afterwards, it will be almost impossible to see BTC at those prices again because those people will never sell. That will be like the huge discounts that they've been waiting for to accumulate. So if it gets to 35, 40K, there'll be lots of accumulations and it will be very difficult to see below that level. So even the alt markets now, most solid alts that we're seeing at those levels, those companies that have been looking for ways to add certain crypto projects to their balance sheets as a store of value or whatever, because that's what has been trending since late last year. The sad thing is when the market is crashing, you won't see most of those news out there. But once it starts pumping, you start hearing of companies that accumulated while it was down. So low prices is actually a gift for most of those profitable companies that want to have exposure to solid crypto projects. The likes of Ton, the likes of SUE, the likes of Ethereum, Bitcoin, Avalanche, Litecoin, Dash, Solana. There are companies that right now as we're speaking, they've started curating the list of solid crypto projects they want to accumulate and add to their portfolio long term. And this dump is a huge gift for them because they'll be able to buy them at the very low prices. So that's one thing you need to look at. You need to anticipate and play the long-term game right now. Because once those guys are in and the pump starts coming, it's going to be very, very fast. And it's going to be nearly impossible to see these assets at even 50% of those prices that those guys got in. So think long-term and start positioning yourself strategically. It's just more hurtful and to the disadvantage of those that got in at way higher prices. That's just the thing. Of which for those persons, the only way out is just to DCA. For people that got in at way higher prices, the only way out is to DCA. That way, they can bring down their average entry. Or the other way out is to wait. Yeah, so that's all the questions we'll be taking for today. Especially, I don't know if you have any last contributions before we call it a day. We've spent over 30 minutes already.
No, nothing from me.
All right, guys. So there are no active trades that we're sharing today. Maybe tomorrow there will be some. See you guys same time tomorrow. Bye-bye.